It's Monday and we're in our print production facility with the production team. We are piloting this week some changes to some roles within our sort of production support team, from our production coordinator, supervisor, warehouse manager and dispatch team, and we are trying to make everything run a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more smooth and harmoniously. One of the things we've been guilty of, where we've changed so much, the team were coming in on a given day and there was not clear clarity on who should be doing what and who was ultimately accountable and responsible for each area of the sort of production support. So what we did last week, which you'll catch in last week's episode, we got the team together, the sort of core four: supervisor, coordinator, dispatch, warehouse, and we said, right, okay, brainstorm, sticky notes on the whiteboard. What are all the things that need to be done on any given day for the smooth running of this? So we weren't getting to the end of the day and going, oh shit, I forgot that. Now what we've done is we've turned that into what we call default diaries. So for each role, we've designed in Excel a default diary blocked out in 15-minute chunks, and then we've taken, like almost like back when you was at school and you'd have a timetable of events. You've got from the minute people come in to the minute they leave, allocated time slots and what role should be doing what, so that they all interlink, intertwine, and everything runs smoothly for the production floor. So we're piloting that this week, and one of the big things I'm over here doing is because some people have basically upended their role and they're doing totally new things, and what it's thrown up to us is that there's actually a lack of resources and training material on how certain jobs are to be done. And if there's anything that's a problem, what we're doing is going, okay, there's no training material on that. We're going to get a card made for the task. We're going to get a QR code with a training video. And part of, while Sam's over here with me, we're going to turn all the little duties and all the little roles, even as a supervisor, doing an hourly walk around to check on the floor to make sure that each operator, if they've got any concerns, is there any issues, that is going to be documented, so that if that supervisor is not in for a day, or they leave or they change their role, the new person or the person that's covering can come in, scan the QR on their phone and watch a guide as to how that job on that specific task of that person's role should be done to the correct standard. There's nothing worse than when you're off for a day on holiday or an annual leave and somebody says, I'll cover you. You come back and what they've done by covering you is make you more work when you return. So by systemizing and standardizing all of the things that should be done, even the tiniest little things like emptying the waste bins, there's a correct process for how that should be done to the right standard. And it might seem overkill to some people, but for us, we want it running absolutely like clockwork. We want it a lean, mean, efficient machine almost, and that's what we're trying to do this week, is trying to get all of those really documented processes by hour, by time and by process, and get it all locked in with all the teams so it starts to run a little bit smoother than it currently is. And that is what we are doing. I am smiling this afternoon, mega excited. We've finally got a delivery of our new larger size 45 by 45 boxes in our fully flooded, branded packaging mode. So up until now we've had our larger size boxes in our sort of typical craft brown colour, and now we've slowly been moving across to all the different packaging sizes being fully branded up as a little bit of marketing when we're on the road. Nothing gets me going more than seeing the dispatch area smothered in our magenta boxes, and now we've got our larger size. Hopefully that means even less of them will be our sort of non-branded packaging and more will be branded. So little things that excite me. We've just had a few pallets of these. It's now coming on. We've had a few pallets of these delivered, so the guys are getting these booked in. We're going to start getting these into circulation, so hopefully even more will be branded up. Practice what we preach. Smiling. It's Tuesday and we've got some dramas. Unexpectedly, Zoe, who's the supervisor, is unwell, so she's off sick last minute. At the same point that Cody's got a couple of hours of training this morning off site, which means I have no manager or supervisor to keep the show on the road. So luckily, I was planned to be over here for an hour this morning to have a look at some of the lean improvements and some Kanbans and some stuff that we're trying to do on some more of our consumables. But I've been swarmed in to trial, it's sort of like a work experience day
as a supervisor of the facility, and we've got a few snags, a few issues, so just been doing that this morning, trying to do that, and so that's one thing, little thing on my mind, always plan for the unexpected. So yeah, that's what we're up to.
You just verify in a minute that there's no other jobs that need to go today or tomorrow that are on DTG or transfer that aren't already scheduled. Other cases, any surprises, and then we'll test you pitching in with Sarah. If that doesn't work, then what it would be good to do, because we've made so much progress, I don't want to slip. I might then look at getting you a temp just to help doing what we were doing. How did that work when you and Holly were doing it? Was it good or?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah? Okay, so that might be the answer then. So it may be that if we now know Kay's not here all week, we just need to, because obviously Holly's got quite a bit, you've got quite a bit on now, Holly, isn't it? It's filling up. So if you haven't, because are you on this big bottle job all week?
All month.
All month?
Yeah, I've got like a month to do it.
It's 117 hours.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried. It's 10 minutes.
Right, okay, so we need to look at that. I'll come look at it. Alright, so we need to, if it's not going to work, it'll either work perfectly because you're doing those long jobs all month,
Not at all.
or absolutely not, in which case we'll book 2 temps for tomorrow and we'll verify that code. Alright, cool. Thanks guys. See you in a bit. Cristiano. Right, so.
It does take 10 minutes, but it deletes the pre-select.
What do you mean?
So I'll set it up so as this main connect, it will do that, and then it will cancel the job, it will delete this one,
And it'll go on to the next one.
and then it will go on to the next one.
So the scheduled time for this job is a concern, because you're worried that it's been scheduled to take X time per bottle, but it's taking you 10 minutes a bottle. Is that 10 minutes? That is 10 minutes just run
Just
time?
printing.
Right. Okay.
Just fine. Not counting how long it takes to do the artwork.
But that's within the time.
That's within
but
the time.
in terms of raw, you can only go as fast as the machine will go.
Which is
So,
10 minutes per bottle.
And you've fiddled with the settings. This is the most optimised way of running them.
And then it turned out like that.
Yeah, look good, mate. All that's cleared, and then Sarah can pop them down there, and then we can put them out in our new 45 branded boxes. Yeah, they look a lot nicer, don't they? If they're all going out like that. What's this for?
That is for rubbish.
Rubbish. That's what the bin's for, no? This is not living here, is it? Right. Hold on, mate. Thanks for that. Progress has been made on
So they've got 1 month to make progress, which they've obviously started. The conversations I've had in their one-to-ones, they've started, touching base with people and stuff like that. But it's a long process because I've given them obviously quite a few to start working on, and some of them are busy, some of them aren't, depending on what day it is. So in the sales meeting, a couple of them have made a list of people that they've exhausted the options with and haven't got anywhere. So then that's when they will bring them to me, and then we'll come up with a strategy too. Right. So at the moment, I'm pretty much leaving it to them, and then which I keep reminding them that in 4 weeks I want results. So that when they come into the meeting, they'll go, "This is what I've done. This is what I'm struggling with," and then we go around the room, and someone goes, "Well, I tried this and that works," and then boom, boom. So if you do it weekly, they'll come in and they'll go, "Yeah, I managed to email someone," and it won't be. If they've got a month period. Then they've got to figure it out. I don't expect the first one to yield a lot of results anyway, personally. No. I think it'll be over time. There's, it'll be the first one and they go, "Oh, I've done this. Okay, next time we need more." And then next time, so it's going to be a work in progress. But I'll probably do them fortnightly once they've got in the swing of it a little bit.
My only concern is that I just don't think that the targets that they've got, they're going to ace this year. I don't think they're going to do it with ease.
No, they're not. But the biggest problem you've got is if we were in December now, all day long, but we're not.
That's why I'm trying.
I was doing email reviews yesterday, and some of them were 113 emails. We're back to summer, height of summer. We're getting 90 to 100 inquiries a day, which is summer levels. So yeah, we're ahead of where we should be.
Okay.
I believe, we definitely were better.
I mean, look.
But the thing is, what I don't want to do is, I feel like we've got the inbound to a very good level.
Yeah.
And I don't want to rock the boat.
No, and I agree. That's where I was more saying
but
you and I would come in.
We're basically asking for, and I know we need to try and find a solution around this, but we're basically asking for a carpenter to turn up and do the woodwork and the plumbing at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just not feasible.
That's where I'm happy to come in.
They can do a little bit of it, But again, me and you can't do all of it.
But you and I could do 3 hours a week.
Well,
each.
I can chip in once I've got the inquiry distribution sorted.
I'm under no illusion that 99.9% of your time should be spent coaching and developing them.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is if we said, well, actually, if we can get 10, 20 packs out a week, that might just revive some and just generate a little bit more inbound.
As we both know, to do that is a very long-winded process. You'd probably get 2 done an hour by the time you've researched, find out if they're actually still there.
Yeah.
And then you've got to try and log that somewhere, communicate with the account manager, because then when they get a call and say, oh, thanks for the lovely pack, they go, what? So I just think that I don't know, I think that whatever they're doing at the moment, they're doing a little bit of it. Whether that's calls, emails, whatever. Yeah. But I think it's easy to forget how busy they are, and they're making mistakes on admin and stuff like that. We add more to the pile, we're going to be churning money for the sake of refunds, because you're going to be saying, well, why haven't you done account development? And they're going to go, well, I've been trying to hit the target, and I know it directly talks, but then they're rushing. Because like I was at one-to-one with Harrison yesterday, and I said, so what sort of proactive stuff have you been doing? He said, so many ways I can go, so many places I can turn to do proactiveness, but it's just time is the biggest issue. He said, I normally stay 5 till 5:30 and I try and do some proactive stuff, but then not everyone's gone home. And that's the only time they can find to do anything like that. And then I say to them, well, shut off your emails for half an hour. And they're like, yeah, we try that. But then when you come back, you've got 50 emails. And then you're way behind. And then you're impacting your direct live revenue, not what's going to come around in 3 months. Don't get me wrong, not every day is like it. But you can't get a routine.
Yeah. Okay.
They've got the resources. They know they've got a process, they've got a strategy. So the way I look at it is, please do it. It's a bonus if you can do it. But if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Well, yeah, I just don't want to be sitting there going, I'm really sorry, we're going to have to let you go because you only delivered on your target for 3 months. I think a proactive looking ahead is like those kind of things. You need to have somebody that's looking ahead. That's the biggest downfall over there. Like when I've been over there the last 24 hours, I'm questioning things that are ahead, not tomorrow, 3 days ahead. And that's what saved us with those pencils. There's been loads of things like that. And you need somebody on that floor that's proactive, not reactive. There's too much reactivity over there in my eyes.
Yeah, so I just add proactive as opposed to reactive attitude.
Yeah.
Or attitude to work
or something. Definitely. And
because I can't say a looking ahead person.
No, you really won't.
This other guy experiences the he's a scheduler somewhere at the minute.
Okay. Cool.
Probably not.
So you're thinking of him for the supervisor role?
No. Well, I'm just want to be honest. Their job descriptions mean absolutely their previous experience. Really
it's still different. Yeah.
Like Kate used to work in TK Maxx.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just going to get him in and see where he works. But obviously, if he's been a scheduler, maybe room for moving him into a different role or whatever. So.
Yeah. Okay. So short term, you will cover her role. And then, immediately you're looking to appoint someone to take over you.
I mean, obviously I've only been doing it today, but so far, it's like since I don't know. It just seems like there's not. I mean, there is definitely a full-time job there, but it's not a full.
This is what I was getting at. Like this is my point I've been getting at. Is like when I was looking at it, the only time where it really warrants it, in my opinion, is when the supervisor isn't in. In my eyes, right now, it feels like you need one person.
Yeah.
But it's easy for me to say that, but then when it all goes wrong, it isn't right.
Right now, the here and the now, yes.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about 6 months' time,
so we need to
then it's a different story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then in a few months, when you start saying, "Can you take on this? Can you take on that?" Then I'm gonna. I need to get them in and trained and experienced for at least a few months before I can.
Yeah. Exactly.
Rest easy.
No, that's fine. Let's push on with it.
And we've always said we always want to be
ahead.
Yeah. Proactive as opposed to reactive.
But I'm just really conscious of adding more permanent people when we're not exactly sure yet.
What's going on? Yeah, I agree.
Because I think I've made it's very clear that it doesn't warrant 2 people in embroidery. So we've learned that very clearly in the last week.
The only thing
so
is
she can move to a different role.
Is with Christian. It's only worked because Christian's been there doing the peeling and the backing. It's like a 1.5 6-person job or something like that.
Exactly, but it's not 2.
No, but that's
On an
why.
8 head.
No, but that's why I'm saying it's a 1.5-person job. That's why we should. That's why we need to get the DSTs brought in house. Then it becomes a 2-person job, and we have benefit by not paying out for the DSTs. Sam approves and nods his head. So there you go. He's the man that's been in the mix. So 1.5-person, and then if you do the DSTs,
it's half a person and the other half is running the tests on and editing the DSTs and prepping the next job, as opposed to
if you're doing that, you may as well be making them.
Yeah.
Unless they're ultra complicated.
Yeah.
Then we'll just send them over to Sam.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that solves that. We still need to look into what we're going to do about the DTFing. DTG. I just think that it makes sense to move all coloured stuff over, and you only do naturals on the current machine. I can't really see another way around it. He ain't gonna go out now.
No, what's going to go? Come on.
Yeah, peace and love.
Okay, so I think the biggest priority needs to be to get the stock management locked down, get the warehouse running like clockwork, get it all the videos up on the task boards, everything's thingy, so nobody can say I don't know how to do that, I don't know what I should be doing, I've never been shown how to do it. It's systemized this process, there's a default diary in place. Once we finish that out, it should start to run a lot more like clockwork. We cut all the stuff which we're buying in specially for jobs. If it isn't stocked, we don't offer it, and it has to be very well stocked, all these lines.
It's Friday and we nearly survived another week. It's been a fairly chaotic morning as always. Was over. We do something on at the end of every week. We do a little bit of fun internally in both sites. We do a grafter of the week. It's just a bit of fun for the team. So anonymously on a Thursday evening, everybody in the different teams votes and puts into a little post box who they feel has gone above and beyond, really demonstrated some of our DNA and our values, and has really sort of grafted and gone, that extra mile this week. And they write a little love note, as I call it, and then the manager of each of the sites on a Friday morning gets everyone together, we do a bit of a stand-up, and we read all the votes out, and the winner gets a small token gift from the company, and we do that every Friday, and it's a little bit of fun. And today, Mitch is off, our head of sales, and so I was very privileged to lead the grafter of the week upstairs. So I did that, and it was really nice to read some of the messages and get to hear some of the things that are going on that you wouldn't usually get to hear about, and some of the really nice things that the colleagues are doing for each other, and some of the big achievements and the above and beyond kind of things that are going on. So really nice. Glad we did that. Had a Teams call with one of our key customers, which was a little bit frustrating because they were a little bit upset. They've not been feeling the love as much as they should have with some of the systems and some of the processes that we've got. But I really felt good actually coming off the call, because I feel that it's good that we've got that relationship where the customers, in this case, felt as though they could approach me and we could have that honest and frank conversation. And actually having that time to talk and really empathise with each other and where we're coming from has given me a load of notes and actually spurred loads of ideas on of things we can change and implement to make our customer experience better. And so it's one of the things I want to spend more time on. I've lost my way a little bit the last sort of 3-4 months, where I've been so sucked into the operations and trying to fix a lot of the things where we've grown really quickly. I haven't necessarily got my finger on the pulse enough with some of our key customer relationships, and that's something I strongly advise you not to do, is to ever lose sight of that, and keeping in touch with the customers. So next week on Tuesday, I'm supposed to be in London for a early morning meeting, and I'm trying this afternoon. Going to see if I can touch base with a few key of our key customers and general customers who I know are in and nearby the area, and see if I can pop in for a coffee for a sporadic catch up, just to see and get a feel for how they're finding working with us, where they think we can improve, what they love about us, what they don't, and then that'll come back with some notes and some things that I can keep touching base on. So yeah, done that. Had a meeting with developers on the site, trying to push along some improvements to the checkout experience and some of the stuff that's going on at the moment on there to help some of our customers. So managing expectations there, that should be done by next Friday, so sign that off. And yeah, just checking in with the teams this morning. And that's where we are. And it is now 1 o'clock almost, and before you know it, the week will be over. That's what we're doing.
And the order processing thing.
Oh, wow, really?
Considering
What,
last
PO
week,
queries?
yeah. Considering on Friday there was like 5 problems,
Yeah.
and this whole week there's only been 7.
Wow.
Quite impressive actually. I went into Christina. I was like, "Is there really only 7 problems?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, well, "What?" She was like, "I'll speak to you at 4 o'clock." I was like, "Oh."
What happened at 4 o'clock?
See if she's got more problems.
Oh, I see. Once the day's gone by,
Yeah.
see if any
We'll
more
see.
come lurking out the thing.
Yeah, be quite good.
Nice. Anything good happening?
Not really.
No.
No.
It's closing day. Yeah.
It's Friday. I've got that Friday feeling, Tay.
Good. That's
Which is-
what we like.
and
to
the
do.
weather's also there as well,
Yeah, which is double
which
bubble.
is it's unusual,
Yeah. It
but
is.
it's nice. It's cheered me up a little bit.
Very nice.
I'm feeling rather positive.
Good. That's positive.
And, yeah.
I meant to say, the quote master jobby should be up by next Friday.
Oh, well, they have
So we don't keep getting web
multiple.
duplicates, yeah. So that the way it forces you to add a quote now is effectively like you're buying it, but instead of it's, do you want to add to quote basket? So then they add all the items. Once they've got everything they want, then they submit the form.
Is there already a way for them to do that? Because I had one
There
the
is.
other morning
Yeah.
where they did, and I was
It's-
gobsmacked.
Yeah, it can be done.
Okay.
But I tell you what it does at the moment is, so say you add, I don't know, some pens to your basket, and you say I'm going to buy them, and then last minute you go, oh no, I'm not going to buy them. It says, are you sure you don't want to just at least get a quote? And at that point, if you've got 3 items in your basket, so
Yeah,
that would have been
cool.
somebody that's on the fence of like, oh, I was going to just buy, but actually I'm a bit
Okay.
not sure. So that's what I'm saying. The functionality is there, but for some reason they just didn't roll it site wide.
Yeah.
They only put it at the checkout. So it's not been. That's why it's not been as big of a job as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
When we've actually dug into it, I discovered I was like, well, how's 1 or 2 people every month manage to put 3 or 4 items in there and here? Yeah. It's, and so I'm hoping that if that goes up by next Friday, that will cut all the web duplicates and make things so much easier. If you don't get to those, then don't worry. But only if you. It just means that's half. They were half of them what's left on my list, and I was like, if you're going to have a quieter afternoon than me and got your time, great. If you don't get to them, you don't get to them. But
What is these 2?
yeah.
And that one that I sent to Studio just for a while later.
So we are wrapping up another week. I don't know. Have we managed to capture much this week, Sam? No. Yeah, it's been a bit full on. We've had just so much going on. Not much exciting, but I don't know. Sometimes I think it's better to show you the reality, which is a lot of the weeks just behind the desk, in the thick of it, just trying to improve processes, improve systems, and just trying to iron creases out, and that's what it's been. It's not always out and about in the sexy outdoors. Sam's going to not be happy because it's windy out, so hopefully if I speak like this he can hear me loud and clear. But yeah, we're wrapping up another week.
It's been fairly good. Next week we are looking pretty busy. We're in London, which I'll hopefully bring you along for. We've got quite a bit going on. We've got our monthly management accounts review for the previous month to see if we're turning the tide with some of our profitability issues. And we're just doing more of the same, really, gang. Just trying to be better than we was yesterday, keep pushing forward so we can build a better business to have a better life for our team and our customers and everyone involved. So that's what we're doing. See you next week. Good week, Nath?
Yeah, it's been great. We've had a lot of changes in the warehouse, for the better, I'd say. We've got a lot more room. Me and John have started our new roles, so I think that's definitely beneficial towards us.
Seems to have a lot more space. It's rocking and rolling. We've done our default diaries, got that lockdown, we've got more systems, more processes. Hopefully, if we can keep pushing on, we'll be a couple of months, get the mezzanine in, get forklift in.
And onwards and upwards from here.
Yeah. And that is what we are doing, Sam. We are making things better in the warehouse. Me and Dave, we're like the dream team. Double bubble. And that's it, Sam. That's all we've got to say.
Cool.